This photo was taken with a smartphone from over a block away. This is the new Pixel 10 series, and their cameras have one feature that is simply mind-blowing. But after using it for a week, I also found one massive flaw that could be a deal breaker for a lot of people. Is the magic worth the compromise? Let's find out. First up, let's talk design. Google has refined the look again this year with more premium and durable materials, such as Gorilla Glass Victus 2. The phones feel solid, and of course, you get that IP68 dust and water resistance that you'd expect. On the outside, the design is deceptively familiar. It feels great, premium, but it doesn't scream new. But don't let that fool you, because the magic I was talking about isn't on the surface. It's what the new Tensor G5 chip inside can do. However, there's also a new trick up Google's sleeves, and that is actually this, Pixel Snap. It's Google's new magnetic system, basically bringing cheap to wireless charging and a MagSafe style ecosystem to the entire Pixel 10 lineup. In daily use, it's super convenient. Slapping on a charger or a wallet just works. The Pro XL charges at up to 25 watt wirelessly, while the 10 and 10 Pro get a respectable 15 watt. Now, what is this about the brand new Tensor G5 chip, you say? It's what's powering the software. Google is calling this the most significant upgrade since Tensor first launched, and I can actually feel it. Now, I don't do benchmarks because I don't believe in them, as they are not an actual representation of real-world usage or experience. But I'll tell you that Google is claiming an average 34% faster CPU. What that means for you and I is that everyday use will feel more buttery. And in my week of testing these devices, Tensor G5 hasn't failed me yet. As a non-gamer, everyday usage for me is more about how the phone feels in general when multitasking, taking pictures, recording videos, and running several resource-heavy applications at once. I have yet to feel any lag when doing any of these. Of course, the whole point of Tensor is AI, and G5 is the first chip to run the newest Gemini Nano model completely on device. This unlocks some new features such as Magic Queue, which tries to proactively give you info, like if you're receiving a text that says, "Are you free at 12 p.m. tomorrow to meet at Central Park?" which will pop up options to view your calendar or open maps. The feature is still a bit of a hit or miss right now as it learns about my behaviors, but when it works, it does feel like magic. Another feature that I really liked was the voice translate during a call. It's really wild hearing a real-time translation of a voice that sounds like you, only it's not. And Gemini Live can now draw on your screen to show you how to fix something when you point your camera at it. But let's be real, most of us buy a Pixel for the camera. And this year, as a regular person and mom that just likes to take pictures of her family, I found that it was indeed an upgrade. Let's start with the base Pixel 10. For the first time ever, it has a dedicated 5x telephoto lens that gives you 10x optical quality zoom, and you can push it up to 20x with super res zoom. For the base model, that is a massive upgrade over the Pixel 9. But if you're a photo fanatic, you're looking at the Pro and the Pro XL. They've improved the optical image stabilization, which makes videos smoother, but the star of the show is the new ProRes Zoom, which pushes the range to an insane 100x. And look, I was skeptical, but the way it uses AI to recover detail is kind of hard to believe how good it is. You get these pictures that are so crispy, even from that far away. It's amazing, especially if you're into capturing landscapes or wildlife. Google also added some AI photography tools for those of us who are not professionals. Camera Coach, for example, uses Gemini to give you tips on composition and lighting, which is great for beginners. So they perform great and take incredible pictures, but can they last all day? The answer is a solid yes, at least for me. Google rates all three models for over 30 hours of battery life, and that checks out with my usage. When you do need to top up, the Pro XL is the fastest, getting to 70% in about 30 minutes with a 45 watt charger. The other two aren't far behind, hitting 55% in the same time with a 30 watt charger. Okay, so after a week, what's the verdict? Would I recommend the Pixel 10 series? Based on the specs alone, these are a resounding yes. The Tensor G5 so far has proven itself with my day-to-day task. The on-device AI is smarter, and the camera upgrades, especially the 100x ProRes zoom and the new telephoto on the base model, are substantial. But my personal take is, as much as people hate it when reviewers say this, but it does really depend. If you already have a Pixel 9, even the 9A, you can probably skip this year. The camera upgrades are fantastic, but maybe not worth the expense unless you get a killer trade-in deal. And those AI features, if you really care about them, we all know that they eventually trickle down to older Pixels in some form. However, if you have an older Pixel, say an 8 or a 7, then yes, upgrading definitely makes sense. The performance jump from Tensor G5, it's real. And if you are really into photography and need that incredible zoom, the Pro models will be really useful. The one thing that's a step back for me, and it's a big one, is that all three of these phones are eSIM only. You can no longer use a physical SIM card. That's a huge disappointment, especially for people who travel internationally or need to swap SIMs often, like myself. But at its core, it's a Pixel. The software is clean, simple, and it just works great right out of the box. You really can't go wrong. The Pixel 10 starts at $800, the 10 Pro at $1,000, and the Pro XL at $1,200. Pre-orders are open now, and they hit shelves on August 28th. So, what do you guys think? Is that a 100x zoom enough to make you upgrade? Let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on that notification bell so you don't miss any of my follow-up videos with the Pixel 10 series, including the cases that I'll be trying out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.